Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we're talking about Bailin and Li Yun. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's what I've been calling them when I'm reading it. So, you know, hopefully it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. So obviously, Bailin is the merman and Li Yun is our scientist. So Li Yun they're in the Arctic and he's in the Arctic because he's a scientist and he's meant to be there studying. What's he studying? I don't remember. That's unimportant at this point. Kind of. I mean, he does have a little bit of a crisis when he first meets Bailin, because obviously a brand new discovery. Because he meets Bailin because he's injured, and he treats Bailin, who's obviously very cautious of him. But once he does, he just immediately dips out. He immediately leaves, and Leon is left to have his little crisis. He's like, "Oh my god, I just met, I met a merman." It's like I didn't even do anything, but then he thinks about it more, and he's like at one point when they're more acquainted, he thinks about it more of how he probably shouldn't say anything, because he doesn't want to see Bailin um taken advantage of or captured in any type of way. But this is like the first chapter where Bailin ends up really falling for Leon, and how he really is like, oh, you're like adorable. Like he's really smitten with him the entire time. And because it's when this is like after he treated him and he gets the fish. It's for him. And he never leaves basically. Like at all. He just decides, well, I guess I'm just gonna stick with you. And he does like the entire time. So, because it's like, oh, thank you for the fish. It's like, oh, it's like, Rylan's like really pretty too. Like, okay, but and that's right, because he likes the praise that he obviously gave him, so he goes back. Here's a ton more fish. It's like I could get plenty for you. It's fine. I don't even need them. You can have them all for all I care. Him and Bailin kind of often, because obviously Bailin not being human, have I don't want to. Okay, they kind of miscommunicate. They eventually kind of get each other, kind of, not completely though, but they often kind of miscommunicate, like in where he's like, obviously gutting the fish and cooking it over fire, right? Because can't eat the organ, and then he's preparing it so he can eat it, and Violin's shocked at this, and then it's like, is it weird to eat fish this way? It's like, oh, how do mermaids eat? Um, and then he just takes a bite out of it, which, you know, makes sense because they're in the water. So what would they do? They're also just kind of creatures, so it makes sense that they'd also just like eat it whole and not care about anything else. So, I mean, but then there's also what was another? It's this one where he's been like around, right? Violin's just kind of sticking around at this point, and now he's like, he wants like, it's like maybe he wants me to put like, you saved it. What are you talking about, right? But he's not the brightest. It's fine though. But now he's like waving at him, obviously like, oh, go here. Violin doesn't back. We're communicating. Oh my goodness. It's like, oh my god, we're communicating. He's like, yeah, come here. And then it just starts waving back. And so it's just this back and forth between them. It's like, what are we doing? It's because I don't think it's just a game. And so he just waves back and forth because he doesn't understand that that's what he's asking. They do get there eventually. I mean, like, he does understand eventually. And so this is like the chapter where he asks him, like, oh, if he has a name or anything. And obviously he doesn't really understand that. And so This is where he gives him his name, which is great. White scales. So like, oh, my name, and you're Bailin. Does it click for him? No, but I mean, Jesus Christ. It's fine though. He'll eventually get it. Probably. He does, I mean, he does eventually understand, obviously. So, and he kind of brings him back to his little humble little setup he has going on for himself. And so he loved the water, so he left, and now, um, it's like, oh, if he messes everything up for him, basically. He messes up his camp, because, I mean, it's his food, that he doesn't understand his food, and then there's his work. That's not food. And then there's it's definitely not food either. And then his rations. Nothing really goes right. Samples ruined. I mean, it could be worse. Sort of. I mean, he has Bailin. He could just go to get fish for him, technically. So, you know, it'll be fine. And honestly, this is like the chapter where he is looking at Bailin and it's like, oh, I'm a scientist. Like, obviously, I'm a scientist. So, and Bailin's like it's like obviously like a myth, right? Like stuff from legends and stuff. So, remember, community, it's like just being endangered creatures. This is where he's thinking about what it would be like, the possible future and consequences of revealing Bailin to, the world of his existence. And it goes about, like, as much as you'd expect, so to say, not great. So, because they're gonna treat him like he's like an attraction, like he's not really a person or anything. It's just something to look at and be like, oh my god, look at him. And so obviously he doesn't really want that to happen. So he just decides he doesn't understand this, by the way. I just wanted to he doesn't understand anything. But he's a person just with a tail. So this is where he decides he's not really gonna like, okay, I won't, gotta keep it a secret. But it'd be a shame if he never took any pictures of them. Not to get any pictures for science reasons, of course. Definitely not for anything else. This chapter, which I found stupidly adorable, because I mean, it's where Bylin's making he's making snowmen, but he makes it of Li Yun. It's like all pudgy and cute. It's like a cheap version of him. So Bailin, or not Bailin, Li Yun is obviously amazed by this. It's like such a good, and he really loved that reaction. He likes making Li Yun happy in general anyway, but he liked the excited expression. So he stays up all night basically, just making different snowmen of him and like different expressions. And so he's like dead by sunlight. So he's completely gone. And obviously, Leon, of course, why wouldn't he be impressed by this? He's in the different expressions, and so he eventually he tries to make it, himself. He does to impress him, obviously, but it's an exchange. No, it's not. He just he wanted your approval. That's all he wants. He wants your praise. You cannot read him better. And so he does make one I mean, it's supposed to be him. It could also just be a seal. It doesn't look great, but he tried. And so, I mean, he's laughing at me. That one was read correctly. I mean, so, I mean, at least he could read that one. But even if it is a little, kind of sucks, he's still, he adores it though. So it's so, like, he's making all these, he's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care. I just like, but he's like, no. So he doesn't like it because he's giving it more attention than he is of him. It's me. But even if it's crappily made, like, he still likes it and adores it because he gave it to him. So he really loves it. So I didn't even notice that one. When he's running around. Oh my god, just because these are like all expressions he's made before too. So odd. Yeah, you're odd. But this is also the chapter where we find out where um the he has to go home at some point, and so he's reminded of it because his flight is coming, so he has to go home. So this is where we're reminded that he at some point he does have to leave Bailin. And oh my god, this is sad. it's it's so like, even though we know like they're gonna like, oh, honestly, why wouldn't they reunite later? This wouldn't be important. Like, can't end here. But it's sad because it's like, well, how are they gonna reunite? So when it's time for him to leave, like, it's so depressing because it's like, obviously he doesn't want to really see the look on his face. So it's time for, like, I have to go, and it's so sad because it's like, I mean, look at him. He wants to cling to him because it's like he doesn't want him to go, but he has to. So I mean, it's like I can't like. It's like I have to go home. Even, but obviously, Bailin doesn't really understand that, and so he has, the glove gets taken off and leaves it behind. So that's all Bailin has of him now, and but he like holds on to this, like he legit holds on to this and never lets go of it the entire time. And this is where we get like Bailin's like, what was his life like? Like, what's his backstory? A sibling, apparently. Never do, but eventually he's alone, which is depressing. And he's alone again. And all he has is the glove, which he clings to and never lets. This artwork is so pretty, but he never lets go of it because it's all that reminds him of it. It's all he has left of him. And eventually, he does go looking for him because why wouldn't he? So obviously, like a few months later, here we go. We get Bailin. He's just, he's sitting there. He's like, oh, and then suddenly you hear on the news, oh, a strange sea creature, and so it's like, oh my god, that's Bailin. No, like, all of the areas. Now they're like, oh. Now he's like, oh, you have, like, because now you have to. And obviously, like, from Bailin's perspective, it's his glove, and so we don't know what kind of it is. Like, he wants to get, like, he doesn't want you to give it to him. Like, he doesn't want to give it to them. He just, like, he wants Leon, like, he wants him. And so he's like presenting the glove as if like to say, I want you to find him. So obviously he doesn't want them to touch the glove. He doesn't want them to have it either. He's just saying it. But he left. And it's so sad. Look at and throws it away. I mean, yeah, because he can't leave it. So of course he goes after it. It's just Violin in the background. It's like on TV. I really, my life in really? That's your first thought to it, too? It's like, he's supposed to see me. Sir, you left him. Of course he wants to see you. But when, but when he tries to go down to get it, like, his glove is there, obviously. It's like, oh, my glove. And then when he tries to go down and get it, obviously it's not gonna go great, because, you know, it just chokes him out. It's just fully, it's like, I need to kill. I mean, well, yeah, he might kill him, but he obviously he's questioning, right? I think this is like one of the funniest realizations is that Bailin, to an extent, doesn't. Is recognize the right word? I mean, yeah, it is. He's like, cause looking at him, and it's because of the jacket. It isn't because of the puffy, like, orange jacket he has. Obviously, he feels bad about that. So he's like, I'm just sorry I choked you out. I can still breathe. And so he's obviously like, you're not as fat as before. So he's like, what happened to you? So that's why he doesn't like recognize him. It's because of the jacket. Oh my god. So obviously he's like, oh, Karen, like, obviously not really. He wants to be with him because he doesn't want to be alone anymore. Obviously he thinks. You could jump in. He's like, I refuse. Because he wants to be with them. He doesn't want the glove. He just wants. Are you fine? Like, this is the one thing he reads correctly now. Is that he wants to be with him and he doesn't want to give back the glove. So he ends up taking him back to his place, which doesn't go great because I mean he's never been in a car and he tries to set up like, you know, so he could have like a place for him to like, because he's a mermaid, so like, you know, what am I supposed to do with it? So, but he's never been in a car, so he's not doing too great at all. And so he's, you know, Biden is fighting for his life right now. He's not doing okay. I continue here, but he doesn't have legs, so he's gonna like you're scraping him against the hard pavement, and then people start recognizing. And so he's just, first off, he's like he's dead to the world right now. So it's worse. And then like, is that a dead body you just have right now, sir? Why do you have it? It doesn't even work. So not it's not going great. But he does eventually get him in his tub, and there's like ice on it because it's like cold because you know he's from the Arctic, so it'd be pretty warm now that he's not there anymore. And so he puts some ice. So he's doing great. You know, he's out of the car. Some ice cold water. He's not doing great. His car needs to be cleaned. Now occupied. I mean, he doesn't even live. I mean, having a pet fit. I mean, he's a person, so it'll be fine. maybe. And, you know, he's happy. So it's like, you know what? It was probably worth it. So for like the rest of this is like, um, Leon, he's trying to figure out how to like accommodate for Bailin and get him settled, and some of the moments end up being very cute, like him feeding him and not going all that great. But then, he's like gonna die here, and then forgetting he's like a carnivore who absolutely can probably be fine eating all that. He probably okay. He probably shouldn't just would, but he'll be fine. Chopsticks. He'll be okay. This man is not gonna die from it. But the rest of it is him getting him used to living with him and trying to accommodate for him. And he eventually does uh get legs. I will say, like he does eventually, which is like, but after damaging all of that, he does eventually get legs though. Sure, okay, wait. This is it. This is the one where he finally, he has like first I will say, look at this, look at him. And it's like if we look, it's taller than this. But so now he finally has legs, which is a change of pace. And that's like his from his tail is like he shed it. So now he's finally a person. I mean, he has legs. I mean, not really completely human, but it's, it's like sorry, I'm trying to think of this now. It's like go back. It's like what am I gonna do? So, cause again, his house is like apartment is completely messed up now from everything, and then his just untaken. And so now he's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? He's like, I can't focus with you being naked now. So where is it? You understand these, which he can. I mean, he probably always could talk. It's just that like couldn't really understand him, and he's not doing so great at having everything cool, easy. It's like no, it's just um. So now I have to teach him how to do, and obviously he's not. It's a new experience now. And so now, I mean, there's still obviously you have to still get him adjusted to things, but now it's completely different because now he has legs, so now he can walk around. And I mean, he did it before. He was just dragging himself before and messing with the house, but now he can walk around and do it. So it might be worse. It could be, but that's what it is for like the most part of the rest of it. And I mean, it's not like he's alone because I mean, he's got I mean, with the water and everything, Jesus, but like my professor. So it's not like alone, but it's gonna be a thing. Those ears. And it's like you just saw him, it's not. So, but so, but the rest of it is them trying to get so far because it's still ongoing, but just them getting used to getting him used to it, trying to get him to better understand things so he doesn't make a mess and to blend in a bit more so he doesn't get discovered and maybe something shitty happens. So, but um, other than I forgot, I think it's on a schedule. I think it updates like every uh I actually don't know now. I'm looking. I don't remember when the sub states. I think it's on like a set schedule and not just whatever. I think I could be wrong. Actually, still wrong about that. I don't remember anymore. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.